Who of your Pittsburgh Steelers? Which players have the most to prove? Top five. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I'm excited about this, man, because this is something that, it's always healthy to come up and talk about, reassess, evaluate, see how everybody's feeling about their team at the moment.
Who should have a chip on their shoulder?
Absolutely, man. So, since you did go first last time, I think you should go first again, man.
Sure.
So have at it, man. Tell us your five. You list your five. I'll list my five, and then we'll kind of, yeah.
Not a coincidence that I have a few names on here that I also
had. It better not be nobody
had
on defense either, bro.
on the first.
It better not be nobody on defense.
I'm making the
man.
first Pro Bowl.
Come on, man. Don't you put nobody on defense on your most approved
Defense.
list, bro. Nobody on defense should be up there for most approved, right?
I got a couple.
Oh, man. All right, here we go.
There's people out here with something to prove. What can I say?
Oh, in a good way. All right. Because not everybody has something
I
to
view
prove.
this as a positive, yeah.
Okay.
This is like, listen, we know you're capable of this. Are you going to step up?
Yeah.
So first, I'm going with Mitch Trubisky / the starting quarterback, whoever it is. If it's Mitch, you have something to prove. Are you a starter in the NFL?
Yeah.
If it's Mason, basically same thing.
Yeah. Okay,
Kenny, we drafted you first round. I think you got something to prove. Can you be the franchise quarterback? So whoever it is that ends up starting, they got a lot to prove at the quarterback position. Number 2. This is no particular order. Although I'd probably have quarterback 1. Let me think of who could be number 1 between quarterback and someone else. I got someone else in mind. All right, but anyway, second on my list, I have Kevin Dotson. I think he's got a lot to prove. I mean, the whole talks about last year of Steelers organization being a little bit upset with him, and then him being the starter last year, and when he wasn't playing, it was just due to injury. But then coming into this offseason, now he has competition. It's not really, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's competition.
You get what I'm saying. I just feel like he has a lot to prove. I mean, we're talking about Pro Bowl type of aspirations. Can you live up to that?
Yeah.
And we need a lot of help on our offensive line. We needed to improve from last year. Like, the way I'm looking at it, James Daniel, like, does he have anything necessarily to prove to us? Like, he's a really good player.
He told me he has a lot to prove.
Well, you told me that wherever he said
he has a lot to
he has the
prove.
contract he wants to prove there. But, like, I don't think he's going to, like, disappoint. You know what I'm saying?
Fair enough.
Like, I could see a scenario where Dotson's
That
like
is a funny
disappointing
contrast,
a little
though,
bit.
when you think about just James Daniels is like, yo, I got a lot to prove. I have everything to prove.
We love that mentality.
Yeah, we do.
Am I wrong?
We love that mentality a lot. Yeah, absolutely do. Not everybody has that mentality. That's the only thing.
Who doesn't? You're thinking about someone. I hope it's not Dawson.
I know it was a certain individual that did say that they do not have anything to prove.
Really?
This was recently, yes.
D. Bush. Was it?
Said I was already the 10th overall selection. I don't have anything to prove, man. I know who I am. Swear. You didn't know that?
I didn't hear that one.
Yes, bro. This was like
I love
2
the
weeks
confidence.
ago, bro. I don't have anything to prove. He was like, huh? Yeah.
I think I love the comments from both people. Daniels, they know who they are. I think that's what I
I
like.
like how you was like, yo, we like that mindset, right? We do. I was like, yeah, we do, but, there's a contrast. We got the yin and yang right now.
Devin Bush's angle on it was good, though, saying, like, listen, I'm confident in it. I'm confident in who I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm good with that.
My man said I'm good.
But he still makes the list because he still has a lot to prove.
So he don't got anything to prove to from his perspective, but to you, he got plenty to prove.
Yeah, I think
All
me,
right.
Steeler Nation, a lot of people, he has some stuff to prove.
So you trust what you see more so than what Devin Bush sees about it? This D Bush we talking about, man. D 5'5". That 5'5" we talking about.
I don't think he's saying he had an amazing year last year.
I think he's saying he don't have anything to prove, though. That's what he said. He's like, I don't got nothing to prove. See me.
This prove word is a tricky
Come
word.
on,
What does
man.
it? What does it actually mean?
He said, I'm standing on what I've done. You see mine, you like the combine versus the pro day. He's like, hey, you got the combine, then it's like, yo, if you don't like what you did there, you got the pro day. If you like what you did, say, yo, man, I ain't got nothing to prove. I'm good. I ain't doing that pro day. My man said it good. He ain't got nothing to prove. He was already the 10th overall selection, man.
Devin Bush is on everyone's list for this most to prove. If there's a top 5, that's what I was gonna say. I think the quarterbacks
He's on
won.
everybody's list.
I think the quarterbacks won, like Mitch, Mason, whoever it is. But actually, Devin Bush has a case for being number 1 on this list. Between quarterback and Bush, they're tied for 1, 2, 1A, 1B, whatever you want to call it.
Here's the direct quote. I don't think I've got nothing to prove. For real. Because I'm a first rounder. A top 10 pick. And that's never going to change. I don't think I've got to prove anything to anybody. I think more so, I just got to go out there and play football.
That's the way to close it right there. I'm just going to go out there and play football.
Yeah.
That's the way to close the quote. Mm-hmm. There was a little bit of a rocky road there throughout it, but I think we came to a good conclusion. Just got to go out and play football.
I was like, yo, that's different. Wow. It's like, Bush, bro,
That's all the reasons why he's on the list. He's talking about being a first-round pick, top 10 pick, all this stuff. That's why you're on the list, because that wasn't the type of performance we got last year. Yeah. And you got to prove that you are worth that draft pick, worth trading up, worth signing you in the future as well.
Yeah.
All right, so I have two more. Akello, because we're hoping he's going to be top 10 corner, top 5 corner, Pro Bowl corner. You just got to prove to be consistent with it, because that's the hiccup that you had with the 49ers. I think he's got the talent. All these dudes on my list have talent.
No, seriously,
whether we're talking quarterback with Trubisky, he was the number 2 overall pick. Mason, whatever you want to say about Mason, at least he's got some talent. Kenny Pickett, we drafted in the first round. Kevin Dotson, we know he's got a lot of talent there. Kello Witherspoon, Devin Bush, and then the last guy on my list, Chase Claypool. Ton of talent.
Shout out to Chase. No, I can respect
He's got
that,
a ton to prove too. I mean, you can maybe even throw Deontay in here, but at least he made a Pro Bowl last year.
And he's at least had one of the seasons where we're like, all right, you got that 1,000 plus, you got the tutties, you got all the 100 receptions.
Yeah, he was Ben's main target last year.
You check those boxes. You've at least proven that, and based on where you were drafted at also, it's like you're a quote-unquote overachiever. I mean, just based off where we took him and stuff like that.
Yeah, with Claypool, it's just pretty simple for me. I think he could be a top 5 to 10 receiver in the league.
Yeah, has the potential for it.
Can you do it? Yeah, we've been talking about potential with him this whole last year. I won't even say his rookie year we were talking potential, because I think his rookie exceeded our expectations. It was crazy. Yeah. It was crazy. But then going into his second year, we thought all those numbers he had rookie year, it's like, he could probably do more. We stopped featuring him like the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season for some reason. So if he could bump those numbers up. I mean, he could have a DK Metcalf type of jump from rookie to sophomore year, but it didn't pan out that way, so maybe it'll happen in the third season. But that's my list of most approved, because we're also going to be talking about, with Claypool, some type of contract. What receivers do we keep between him, Deontay, Pickens, Austin, any of these dudes in the room right now? So let's see what Claypool's got.
All right. So I'm gonna read off some of the chats, people that they have the top 5 most approved, and then from there I'll finish up with mine.
Sure.
All right. So let's see. I
can read one real quick here. Don Juan.
Oh, there we go.
He says Mitch number 1, 2 Claypool, 3 Devin Bush, 4 Dotson, 5 Witherspoon. That's actually my list right there.
Nice. Robert
just
Bennett,
not in the order.
Robert Bennett, he goes Chooks, Kevin Dotson, and not in particular, just how he reads them off. Chooks, Kevin Dotson, Claypool, Devin Bush, and then Akello. All right. Farron Bradford showing us a little love as well, man. Shout out to you. He says Bush, Claypool, Trubisky, Dotson, and Akello. All right. Let's see. You just read off Michael Chandler. Rod Dallas. Shout out to Rod Dallas. What up, baby? He says, at number 1, you didn't read this one, right?
Not Rod Dallas.
Okay. Yeah, Rod Dallas at number 1 says Mitch Trubisky at 1. Number 2, Devin Bush. Number 3, Marcus Allen. Okay. Number 4, Justin Lane. But he might be saying in terms of
just staying on the roster. Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you got to think, Marcus Allen been here a couple of years now. Justin Lane, a former what?
Fair.
Third. Was it second round pick? Lane, no, he's third.
He was the third round pick.
So it's like, he's been around for a little while. At number 5, he has Benny Snell / Derek Watt / Anthony McFarland. Ooh, of those 3, who makes the roster? Benny Snell, Derek Watt, Anthony McFarland.
The first 2.
You going Benny and Derek?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they all 3 make it though.
See, I think Benny and McFarland.
D Watt. I thought we were gonna do the whole Watt Hayward thing.
I think Hayward is gonna be the dark horse, bro. I think Hayward.
I thought he was playing more tight end though.
I think Hayward gonna find a way, bro. That's all I'm saying.
I have a feeling they both find a way, but I think
Hayward finds a way, man.
Hey, you got more inside scoop than me.
Hayward's gonna find a way, bro.
Okay.
All right. Stan Clary, he says Claypool, Benny Snell, Mitch, D Bush, and then PH3, Mr. Presley Harvin.
Good sleeper pick there.
All right. So for me, man, let me go ahead and read off mine. At number 5, I have a slash. I went with Akello / Levi Wallace. I think with both of those dudes, man, they got paid nicely this offseason, the exact same contract, but they're both exciting, intriguing, but still question marks. We know they can be cornerback number 2. They've proven that numerous times, whether you're talking Akello, what he did at the end of the year last season, or if you're talking about what Levi's done the past couple of years in Buffalo. They both have shown the potential to be a cornerback number 1. We saw that with Akello at the end of last season. He was getting the turnovers and the splash plays. We saw with Levi in Buffalo, Tre'Davious White going down. He ended up taking on that role and really having to be a guy up there. But with that, we still haven't seen them have to be cornerback number 1 for a full 17-game season. We haven't seen them when there isn't anyone that to turn to. You know, they don't have a quote-unquote big brother corner out there to go, I'm going to get Joe Hayden on you. I'm going to get Trey White on you. Like, they don't have that now. They are those guys. So just seeing how, you know, can they live up to the expectations? Can they exceed the expectations to some extent and ultimately get even more money? Because if we're being real about it, $4 million per year at the cornerback position is not elite cornerback money. It's like, for you guys to get that type of money, this is the type of years that you need to have. This is your opportunity for that. We're going to see if you're either going to sink or swim. But that's why I have them at number 5. At number 4, I went with Mitch Trubisky because we've seen the revamp. I've seen, you know, when you look at him last preseason in Buffalo, it looked like a good version. It looked like a cool, calm, and collected version, a winner, a guy that you could trust to run your franchise as the quarterback. I saw what he looked like in OTAs and minicamp. All those things are checking off. He's doing everything that he's, you know, physically in his power. He's checking off those boxes. He's showing the leadership. He's showing the just the ability to be QB1. He's done all this type of stuff. Now it's like, okay, let me see it in training camp. Let me see it when the preseason games hit. And then if week 1 hits, let me see you do it then and continue to do that for the whole season. But that's the question mark that I have, is can he do it? And can he be consistent throughout the duration of a season? But we're going to find out. Number 3 for me was Chooks. Shout out to the homie Chooks, man. And the reason why I have him up there is this. This is going to be a new experience for him. The previous 2 seasons, he's been in position battles with Zach Banner. First year, he lost it. That's what the team did when they put Banner out there. Obviously, Banner got hurt 2 quarters in, but he had lost that. Then even last year, we never really got to see the full competition because of Banner coming back from the injury and stuff like that. So it was always interesting to see, okay, that's you when you know you have somebody that's in competition with you. That's you when you know, hey, man, this guy might even beat me out before. Now you're not looking over your shoulder. Now you got that check. Now you're the quote-unquote proven commodity on this offensive line, which is why we paid you what we paid you and why your money league-wide is even more respectable now. So it's, can you live up to those expectations? We're not paying you that to just be our 4th best offensive lineman. Nah, we're paying you that because we expect you to be one of our top tier offensive linemen. And that's going to be something that he's going to have to show if he can live up to. Now, he's been doing a good job, but can you do that with these expectations? Because this changes. This is no different when you're talking about Devin Bush and Robert Spillane. When it's Robert Spillane, we love what he's done because, hey, we didn't invest a lot in him. He's viewed as an overachiever. With Devin Bush, it's drastically different because what we invested in him and what we expect of him. So for Chooks, it changes. It's an expectation that's going to come with his play now, and he's going to have to live up to that. Yeah. So that's why I have him up there, man.
I like that.
Yeah. Then at number 2, man, I had Deontay Johnson, mainly because we saw him have a Pro Bowl season. We've seen him have his ups and downs where, you know, even last year started out hot. Then we know towards the end, the drop started to pop back up. We know just a year ago, he was pulled from a game because of the drops and then mentally just kind of going into the tank. So to me, I want to see, can you prove that last year wasn't a fluke, that last year wasn't a one-off, that you can replicate that you can duplicate it and improve upon it. That's what I'm interested in seeing Deontay, and ultimately prove that you're worth whatever money you may get before the season or that you're going to be trying to get when the season's over. But whatever the case, man, Deontay has to go out there and show over 17 games that he can be the undisputed number 1 receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's talented enough to do that. He's definitely going to get his opportunities just based on how he runs his routes and how he wins in a hurry. But it's going to be up to him to be the consistent producer for the full season. So that's why I have him. And then at number 1, no surprise, I went with my LB brethren, my 5'5" partner, Mr. Devin Bush. Yes, I know he personally doesn't feel that he has anything to prove just based on the quotes that we read from him. I don't agree with his sentiment. I think he has a lot to prove. With all due respect, of course.
Maybe the quotes are a good sign, though, because he's just not watching media or anything.
Maybe that's the case. You know,
he's not watching our schedule either, though. That's unfortunate part.
I know. Every time I want to spin it one way, I'm like, that's still
maybe he's just not watching anything.
Yeah, he's in a meditative Zen-like state. That's what's going on. But for me, I do think Devin has a lot to prove because he's going to have to show that, okay, whatever excuse we have put on him as alumni, us as media, even fans, whatever excuse was given to him because of his performance last year, well, it's going to be up to him to prove, were those legitimate or not. Whether you thought that it was because of the ACL injury. He's mentioned that before. He's going to have to prove that it was truly the ACL injury, though, in terms of why he was playing so bad. Was it because Tua was not in front of him? Okay, well, that was the excuse a year ago. That can't be the excuse again this year. You got to have a different excuse. So, once again, it's like, all right, you're going to get a chance to prove. Was it that? Was it the approach that I thought it was in terms of, man, maybe you increase your study time, your film time, so that way you're seeing stuff and you're more proactive instead of being reactive. If that's the case, then we'll see that. But either way, he's going to have to go out there and show, who he is, because his NFL life is starting to close in a sense, man, because teams don't just pay bad players or pay players that they don't think can produce. Now, granted, him being a first-round draft pick, that's going to get him some looks, but I always think of Jarvis Jones. Jarvis was a first-round draft pick. And Jarvis, to me, I'm like, these two aren't too far off in terms of what they were able to do here in Pittsburgh. And just think of how it went for Jarvis when he left here. I look at Devin, I'm like, them not picking up your option, and based on how you played last year, and then you having the injury the year before that, you don't have a lot of tape where people are like, yo, I want this dude right here. I'm intrigued about this right here. So this is that season where he's going to have to show if he can do that. And that's why I think it's a ton for him to prove. And that's why I have him at number 1 on my list. But like I said, we don't have to always agree. So, salute him. Hopefully it works out.
Yeah. And the thing with Bush compared to Jones, though, is at least Bush had the rookie year. Yeah. But at the same time, you bring up Jones, you could also bring up someone like Artie Burns, because Artie Burns had a really good rookie year for us too. Yeah. But it's more of just like, what have you done for us lately? Yeah. And if it's as bad as last year, you're right. Maybe he gets signed to another team, but I don't know if it's going to be the same, because Burns, he signed with the Bears. He said he got hurt too, but
he tore his ACL. Right,
I don't know. It's just, his career hasn't been the same either.
Yeah. No, definitely one of them things.
Yeah, Bush is on anyone's list.
Yeah, he should be at least.
He's just on everyone's list.
Except his. That's crazy, though. I still can't believe that quote. But that was a quote from him. I did not make that up.